It's another edition of Time About the Movies, and today we're taking a look at the 4 films of March 7th, 2008. Not a lot of good ones this week, but we do have at least one good one. Maybe two, but we'll delve into those as we go along here. But let's go ahead and get this party started with the biggest new release of the weekend, and that's Roland Emmerich's latest film, 10,000 BC.
Before our time lived a hero.
You are the one we were waiting for. You will free our people.
Ahead of his time.
As one! He is not a god!
10,000 BC. Rated PG-13. Starts March 7th.
And you are not 300, as much as you want to try to do that, opening on the same weekend as 300 did the year before. You are not 300, especially with this director involved, Roland Emmerich. The story is about as simple as you would think it would be. Journey of a prehistoric tribe of mammoth hunters. But no. Not with Roland Emmerich, it can't be that easy. No, we have to make it even more complicated and even stupider than you think. This is absolutely terrible. This is a movie that is so bad on so many levels, from the terrible acting, from its leading stars, Stephen Strait, Camilla Bell, Cliff Curtis, a great actor, wasted in this movie. Then again, he's been wasted in some other big blockbusters too, The Last Airbender, perfect example, but no. If only that was the end of it all, but no. We have to go ahead and put together some of the worst visual effects possible for these creatures that they have in this movie. Like, the creatures in here are horrible. So bad in so many ways. Like, you've got a tiger that's got Woody Woodpecker syndrome. You know how Woody Woodpecker would always be a different size in every cartoon during the Golden Age, but for those of you who don't know who Woody Woodpecker is out there, he used to be Universal's mascot before the Minions pushed him out. Just saying, but anyway, that totally off subject there. But yeah, the creatures in here look terrible. The lion literally is one size in one scene, and then he's a different size in another scene altogether. And if that wasn't bad enough, what they decide to do here is completely ignore the laws of physics and the laws of common sense. Because, there'll be scenes in this movie where people are literally walking through snow. They're walking through snowy mountain areas, and then they'll just be like, literally on one side it'll be snowing, but then on the other side, it's the African jungle. What? Who looked at this and said, no, this makes total sense here? Like, they'll do that. There'll be areas where they're like in ancient Egypt or something like that. Like, the mapping on this world is terrible. It's one of the worst things you could possibly imagine for a movie. It fails on every single level. It tries to make you think it's smart when it's really, really stupid. And just everything about it fails on every single level. This is one of the worst films you will ever see in your entire life. And this is just what shows that Roland Emmerich has clearly lost his way. Because holy crap, man, what a downfall this guy has had. After his glory days with Independence Day and The Patriot and The Day After Tomorrow. Even Godzilla would have been made more sense than anything in this pile of garbage did. And that movie was terrible too, but at least that was entertainingly bad. This is just, oh my god, this movie is a disaster on so many levels. Yeah. I think you get the idea here. Avoid 10,000 BC like the fucking plague. Speaking of movies you should also avoid like the fucking plague, let's go ahead and move on to another one of our beloved new installments that we have on here, the comedy segment, where movies that think they are actually really funny and trying to be clever are not. And yeah, if you thought Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins was not a good movie by Martin Lawrence, here's your alternative, ladies and gentlemen, Disney's College Road Trip.
You don't understand. Oh yeah, let's get a pet.
Yeah, man, get a puppy. Something about that pig. He keeps eyeballing me like I'm cooking his cousin.
Pig ain't eyeballing you.
He's doing it, look.
There's nothing there.
It's a Houdini pig.
Police Chief James Porter lived to serve and protect.
Now, Mama, I know you like the new security system. Watch this.
But But when it comes to his daughter, he's a little overprotective.
Melanie, I got your lemonade.
Sip on that.
Now,
I'd really like to go to Georgetown.
That's hundreds of miles from here. We agreed on Northwestern, 40 minutes from home.
Dad, why do you insist on treating me like a child?
to help her pick the right school, he'll have to show her the choices on a college road trip.
Oh, no.
Road trip! Road trip! Look! He's gonna drive her crazy. We're gonna get deep, too. We're gonna get deeper than deep. I'll spy a mailbox. And bingo, what's his name, oh?
Comedy.
Yeah. It's that bad, people. You want to know how bad it is? Donny Osmond is in the movie.
Your luck just changed.
It was an itsy-bitsy teeny-weeny yellow polka dot bikini.
And yet Martin Lawrence is probably the creepiest one of the two. I mean, Donny Osmond and his daughter clearly are people that you would clearly want to stay the hell away from in any way, shape, or form. Because if you get in their car, you're not coming back. It's like they're in a horror movie because they're clearly something is clearly wrong with them. But no, Martin Lawrence, I think, is the craziest one of the group in this movie because, yeah, what he does to Raven-Symoné in this movie is extremely unnecessary and absolutely pointless to what this movie is trying to be, which is nothing. You have a story where college-bound teen Raven-Symoné goes on a road trip to different universities with her family, including her overprotective father. And it's a story we've seen done to death so many times before in the past. You know, a story where, where it's Martin Lawrence who has to be the overprotective dad, has to be with her kid wherever he goes. And sure enough, that's exactly what this movie is. But this is what happens when you don't give Martin Lawrence anything funny to do. And you have people that should know better. You have some pretty good people involved in here. Roger Kumble, the director, he went from Cruel Intentions to this. Think about that for a second. You have Cinco Paul and Ken Dario, who have done some work in the past that have actually worked very well. And have done some work since then that have worked out pretty well. But, we've seen Martin Lawrence can be funny. We've seen Raven-Symoné be good in movies. But here, they literally just completely went down the barrel of the lowest common denominator you could possibly hit, and gave us a film here that is so badly put together, so poorly constructed, so much of this film that just does not work at all. This is horrible. This is a terrible, terrible comedy. Really, you can look at that trailer and see exactly what is wrong with this movie from every single angle, and yeah, just. What more can you say, man? College Road Trip, it's a terrible movie. Avoid this motherfucker like the plague. So why don't we get to some good stuff finally? Let's go ahead and take a look at a film that nobody went to go see because they're idiots. But you missed out on a really good movie. That's Jason Statham in The Bank Job.
We are not bank robbers. Maybe that's why we could get away with it.
Based on the scandalous true story.
Time to get paid.
We're rich. Look at this.
No, it's a princess.
This robbery's now a matter of national security.
You stole from me and from friends of mine.
Here's the twist. I'm changing the deal.
You've opened Pandora's box, you dumb.
We'll be in touch.
The Bank Job. Rated R. Starts March 7th.
People went to 10,000 BC in College Road Trip instead of going to see this movie. It's the best thing Jason Statham ever did at Lionsgate, and nobody went to go see it. Typical world we live in. But you have Business is Slow for Terry Leather, played by Jason Statham, who's a London car dealer, married with children, and an artful dodger. So Martine, played by Saffron Burrows, a former model who has a thing for him, brings him her scheme. A bank alarm is off for a couple of weeks, so let's tunnel into the vault. He assembles a team, not realizing her real goal is a safe deposit box with compromising photos of a royal. She needs those photos to trade for avoiding a jail sentence, and MI5, or is it MI6, is pulling the strings 2 steps removed. A Trinidadian thug, a high-end bordello owner, and a pornographer also have things stored in the vault, so the break-in threatens many a powerful personage. Is there any way these amateurs can pull it off? This is directed by Roger Donaldson, who we've talked about his works in the past. Some good stuff, some bad stuff, but he's done, of course, a lot of great stuff with No Way Out, Cocktail, Cadillac Man. I mean, a lot of good movies in general. And This is a really good movie based off of the a burglary that happened in 1971 on Lloyd's Bank safety deposit boxes in Baker Street, and this was written by Dick Clement and Ian LaFornaise, who also did Flushed Away, which was the DreamWorks animated movie. They've done a lot of other stuff too, but yeah, this is a really good movie that really got completely blown out here in America, but did pretty well overseas to make its profit back in general. But it's a shame that nobody went to go see this movie, because this was a smart, sleek, political heist thriller that worked really well, had an engaging plot to it, had a lot of good twisted moments in here, like twisted moments, like, I cannot speak right now. Has a lot of good twists and turns that happen in this movie, and it's a really good movie. It's Jason Statham doing what he does best, showing how much of a charismatic action star he could be, without really delving into the action star aspect in here, like we see him in the Transporter or the Crank movies. But he's really good in the film, and he shows what he can do as an actor as a whole. He's really good in the film. Everybody here plays their parts very well. It's a really slick, cool-looking thriller. The Bank Job is one you should definitely check out. It's easily the best movie that came out this weekend, and one that definitely deserves to be appreciated nowadays. So with all that said, let us go ahead and move on to our last film that we have here, and that is a film that I still don't know if I actually like this one or not. This is Miss Pettigrew Lives for a Day.
I don't know what I was thinking, entrusting my children to someone with your hair.
Miss Pettigrew was a nanny who couldn't keep a job.
She found you rather difficult, Miss Pettigrew, and that is a recurring theme. I'm afraid we have nothing suitable for you at the moment.
So when the opportunity arose, she stole someone else's.
I believe you were expecting me.
What time is it?
5 minutes past 10.
Oh, God. Bill! Time to wake up, darling!
I can get your boy up. They just need to know who's in charge.
First door at the top of the stairs. Get up.
Oh, he's a much bigger boy than I had expected. Oh, you noticed.
He's here.
Who?
Nick.
Another man.
Well, of course, another man.
Since when did girls smoke cigars?
If I want to smoke cigars, I'll damn well smoke cigars.
Well, they're yours.
You betcha, baby.
Yeah, this is one of the weirder reviews you're probably going to see from me from a movie, but war threatens London as Miss Pettigrew, played by Frances McDormand, a destitute governess, flitches a client's card from her agency and presents herself at the door. A singer named Delicia LaFosse, played by Amy Adams, wants a social secretary as she seeks a West End role by sleeping with a feckless producer in the bed of Nick, a swarmy nightclub owner with whom she also dailies. She ignores Michael, her piano player, who loves her and has tickets for New York on the Queen Mary. Miss Pettigrew's job is to make sure Delicia gets the part. Over 24 hours, Miss Pettigrew is also called upon to help an ambitious and unfaithful fashion editor patch things up with her older fiancé, a lingerie designer. Has Miss Pettigrew found her ceiling? Have I found a reaction to perfectly sum up my thoughts on this movie? Because when I saw this movie back in the day, I went to see it specifically because of Amy Adams, because I really liked what she had done with Charlie Wilson's War, and I saw her in The Office. But other than that, though, I really still don't know if I like this movie or not. I mean, it's weird, because on some level, I give it credit for actually being entertaining for a period piece movie like this. You know, you got Frances McDormand and Amy Adams, two really good leading actresses in here. A cast that also includes Lee Pace, Tom Paine, Kieran Hines, Mark Strong, but at the same time, it's a little too harumphy. It really does feel like a film that would easily fit more with a British audience than a mainstream audience, like here in America. But yeah, it's definitely a very confusing film that at times I think of reasons why I say it's a good movie, but then I can think of a lot of things of why it's not a good movie. Nothing really happens in this movie. It's just Frances McDormand and Amy Adams just going through their day with these subtle hijinks happening around in the background. But I don't know, I'm still very conflicted on how I feel about it, even to this day. I don't hate it, but I don't really like it either. It's just a very jumbled mess of a jumbled film in general that has its moments of promise, but then doesn't really do anything that really elevates itself for me to say that it's one you should definitely check out. But yeah, so overall, Miss Pettigrew Lives for a Day, just kind of in the middle on it. I mean, I can't say I hate it. I can't say I like it either, but definitely one of those films that you're not going to get a straightforward answer on me on how I feel about this movie in particular, but I still don't know, even after nearly 20 years, how I feel about the film in general. But overall, from what I remember from it, I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. Just kind of a run-of-the-mill review on Miss Pettigrew Lives for a Day. And so with all that said, we wrap up another edition of Time About the Movies, and the next time we meet, we will take a look at 3 movies next time around. The first big blockbuster release of the year, Dr. Seuss's Horton Hears a Who, the first, actually the only animated film from Dr. Seuss and Blue Sky Studios. We also have Never Back Down, which stars, is Channing Tatum in this movie or not? I don't think he is. I think it's Amber Heard also. I know it's Amber Heard and Jaimin Hansu. No, it's not Channing Tatum. I think it's Cam Gigadin, but he is Tatum is in a film later in the month, but we're not quite there yet. But we also have Neil Marshall's Doomsday, starring with Rhoda Mitra in it. So 3 films overall to take a look at, and we'll delve into those movies on the next episode. That'll be coming up tomorrow. With all that said, though, thank you so much for watching. And if you want to see more videos like this, please go ahead and hit the playlist on the next page. Check out the previous episode. And also, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, notification button, and the bell, because that's when you get updates on when new videos come out. And we do post new videos here every day. So with all that said, I am off. I will see you guys next time. And until then, as always, take care.